Welcome to the Echo Chamber, where your opinions go to get a standing ovation. Have you ever posted something online and been instantly showered with likes and supportive comments? It feels good, right? Like you're the smartest person in the room. But what if that room is actually an echo chamber, filled with people who already agree with you? An echo chamber is that cozy corner of the internet where your existing beliefs are constantly reinforced. It's like a 24/7 news channel that only plays stories you already agree with. No dissenting voices, no challenging perspectives, just a steady stream of information that confirms what you already think. Sounds pretty great, right? Well, not so fast. While echo chambers can feel comforting, they can also be dangerous. They can trap us in a bubble of misinformation and make it harder to engage in meaningful conversations with people who hold different views. Think of it like this. If you only ever eat pizza, you might start to think that's all there is to life. You'll miss out on the joy of tacos, the excitement of sushi, the sheer wonder of a perfectly cooked steak. In the same way, if we only ever engage with information that confirms our existing biases, we miss out on the richness and complexity of the world. We become intellectually malnourished, unable to digest new ideas or consider alternative perspectives. And that's a problem. Algorithms and filter bubbles, the architects of our online echo chambers. So how do we end up in these echo chambers in the first place? Well, it's not entirely our fault. Social media companies and search engines are masters at creating personalized experiences. They use sophisticated algorithms to track our every click, like, and share, building a detailed profile of our interests, values, and beliefs. Think of these algorithms as digital matchmakers, constantly trying to set us up with content they think we'll love. They show us more of what we already like, and less of what we might disagree with. The result? We're served up a steady diet of information that confirms our existing biases, creating what's known as a filter bubble. These filter bubbles are like invisible walls, shielding us from dissenting voices and alternative perspectives. They can be so effective that we may not even realize we're trapped inside them. We might think we're getting a balanced view of the world, but in reality, we're only seeing a carefully curated sliver of it. Now you might be thinking, so what? I like what I like. What's wrong with seeing more of it? And on the surface, that seems fair enough. But the problem is, these filter bubbles can have a profound impact on the way we see the world and interact with those around us. They can lead to increased polarization, the spread of misinformation, and a decline in civil discourse. Why we love our echo chambers. The psychology of confirmation bias. Let's face it, humans are creatures of comfort. We like things that are familiar, predictable, and most importantly, confirm what we already believe. This natural tendency is known as confirmation bias. It's the reason we're more likely to believe information that supports our existing views, even if it's demonstrably false. When we encounter information that challenges our beliefs, our brains go into defense mode. We experience cognitive dissonance, a feeling of discomfort that arises when our beliefs are contradicted by evidence. To alleviate this discomfort, we tend to do one of two things. We either dismiss the information outright or find ways to rationalize it away. This is where echo chambers come in handy. They provide us with a constant stream of information that confirms our existing biases, allowing us to avoid the discomfort of cognitive dissonance. In other words, they make us feel good. And who doesn't love feeling good? But here's the thing. True growth, both intellectually and personally, often comes from challenging our beliefs, questioning our assumptions, and being open to new ideas. Echo chambers, as comfortable as they may be, can stifle this growth. Section 4. The high cost of silence, polarization, misinformation, and the erosion of trust. When we surround ourselves with people who only agree with us, it's easy to start believing that our perspective is the only valid one. This can lead to polarization, where society becomes increasingly divided along ideological lines. We see this playing out every day in the real world, with people retreating further into their respective corners, unwilling to listen to opposing viewpoints. Echo chambers also create fertile ground for the spread of misinformation. When we're constantly exposed to false or misleading information, especially from sources we trust, it can be difficult to discern fact from fiction. This can have real-world consequences, influencing everything from our voting decisions to our health choices. Furthermore, echo chambers can erode trust in institutions and experts. When we're only exposed to information that confirms our biases, we may become more susceptible to conspiracy theories and distrustful of authoritative sources that challenge our views. The bottom line? Echo chambers don't just affect our online experience, they have real-world consequences impacting our relationships, our communities, and our democracy.